going to be listening to this piece by Mexican composer Romero called Mares, I believe it would be pronounced. It translates to seas in English. And this piece he wrote for a considerable amount of time, between 2004 and 2011. I don't have any front matter for this particular score in this PDF, but you can see that it's all quarter equals 70. It's quite slow. It's about 30 pages of music, and the instrumentation is 4-3-3-2, 4-4-3-1, harp, piano, and strings, with divisi such that there's two of every string part throughout. So we got a lot of divisi, a lot of instruments in general, and no percussion. But I think this one's going to be a little bit difficult to follow along to, just because it's so many staves. One thing I remember about this piece, when I listened to it last time, is there's a super long clarinet note towards the end. Like it's pretty extreme, and it's completely exposed. But yeah, it seems like a lot of the sustained stuff. If you want to get the biography for Romero, it's at this episode. And if you just want to go through all of our episodes on his music up until this one, here are the numbers. Yeah, I think with that we can get into it. The recording is in the description to this video. It's about 13 minutes long. And yeah, I will let you know my thoughts in a bit. Okay, yeah, so interesting piece. This performance is by the Yucatan Symphony Orchestra, conducted by Juan Carlos Lomonaco. And it's very sound mass-y, obviously, and quite dissonant, but there's also something romantic sounding about a lot of the intervals and the like different chords, and some of the more like gestural motions of lines and repeated note things, especially in the brass. There's a lot of brass moments sound more like romantic, I guess. There's definitely something strange to it. Yeah, he asks a lot from the performers, just playing very long sustained tones sometimes at very loud dynamics or very quiet dynamics, in sort of the extremes of register sometimes. And you can hear that it's hard to play at points, but I think this orchestra did a pretty good job. One example is like this. There's this tuba note near the end that's like 16 seconds long, and it's fortissimo on a low B flat or something. That's not going to happen. There's just a lot of things like that where, it's incredibly risky writing. One thing I found interesting was it's made of these blocks of sound, but he never uses a whole family of instruments. It's just like the horns have their own block of sound, the trumpets have their block of sound, and the flutes. Sometimes he'll combine a couple instruments, so like this is a good example towards the end. This is the type of thing that's going on throughout the entire piece, and it makes me think that possibly there was some like planning involved in this, of like when things would happen in time, and it's maybe some sort of contrapuntal idea underpinning it all. I know that Romero has a lot of electroacoustic music, and it could be that it's informed by electronics a little bit. You can see that every page looks different, even though every page uses almost the entire ensemble until the strings leave at the end. So it is pretty heavy, like having to hear an orchestra this size, everyone playing together for 13 minutes. It's quite a experience, and I think it's very evocative of the ocean. Like it does make you feel like you're out at sea and there's this gigantic thing dominating your landscape and your world, and it's hostile. It's not. It doesn't care about you. And yeah, that's all I have to say about it. Let me pull up the piece for the next session. If I can find a recording, we're going to listen to some Diaz Infante. It's been iffy on his scores, if there are recordings or not, because he's not the best at documenting his stuff, but yeah, that'll be the next one if I could find it.